Carolyn, could you give us a brief summary of your background?
All right, my background. I grew up in Montclair, New Jersey, and I come from a family of 8. My father was a biochemist for many years. My mother, she raised us. She spent much of her time at home with us. I went to undergraduate college at Rutgers University, and I focused on biology. My major focus after finishing undergraduate school was in biochemistry. Decided to switch careers and go on to my graduate degree and get a graduate degree from the University of Illinois. And from there, I ended up starting in healthcare administration.
Carolyn, what have been the key steps in your business journey to your present position?
One of the key steps that really brought me to where I am today is that I was very open-minded in regard to getting the kind of experience that I needed. What I mean by that is I've looked for job opportunities in various places, various states. I started off in New York City, job opportunities actually opened up for me in Memphis, Tennessee, and also in other areas. And so I focused on pursuing where the opportunities opened up for me. And therefore I was able to take my journey to the next level. And the next level meaning that opening up new potentials for my career. And eventually what I did, I was very interested in management, in actually managing healthcare facilities, and the opportunity opened up for me to become a CEO in upstate New York. And I was able to not only manage healthcare facilities, but also a large rural health network.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So from graduate school to running a medical practice and not being a CEO, I was a practice administrator. That was probably collectively about 5 or 6 years. Eventually, over the course of time, I was able to, after taking other job positions, I was eventually able to get a job as a CEO in upstate New York, running a rural health network. So collectively, probably about 10 years after my graduate degree.
I see. What key actions do you perform for your organization?
Within my organization, I am the CEO, and I am currently an interim CEO. What that means is that I fill in as a CEO when the organization is currently recruiting for a permanent individual. My first responsibility is reporting to a board of directors of individuals who are ultimately responsible for the organization. I also am responsible for day-to-day operations of the organization, and with a key focus on making sure that we are accessible as a medical practice to our community and ultimately to patients who we will serve. I am responsible also for the financial operations of the organization, hiring medical providers, and also interacting with the community to make sure the community as a whole understands why we are here and our ultimate goal to serve them.
Thank you.
Carolyn, what do you consider to be the keys to your success?
When I think about the fundamental keys to my success, I immediately go back first to my father, who was in healthcare from the standpoint of being a biochemist and introducing me to that area of healthcare, which is the research side. I also think about the influence when I was in college. I had not a mentor, but an advisor who had advised me to think about another career path and to not think about pursuing biology, but to pursue probably something more clerical in nature. That made me angry. That made me really focus on proving not only to that advisor, but to myself that I can do more. And so I took it as something that energized me and to motivate me to complete a degree in biology. Another influence has been key women in the field of healthcare management. When I was in New York City working in a hospital, I worked for several female administrators who had an enormous responsibility, and also a very good background in education. I'm a supervisor, have multiple graduate degrees, in which I found very interesting and very challenging. These individuals really motivated me. Once I got into managing healthcare, and especially with community health centers, what also motivated me, and a key factor, has been individuals who find it very difficult to access healthcare. I am their voice, and because I am their voice, I must do a good job. And those are the key factors that have motivated me.
Carolyn, how would you answer the question that someone might pose to you? How do I become a senior executive or even a CEO?
Don't be afraid to challenge yourself, because others will challenge you, but you need to set the bar for yourself and challenge yourself. And what I mean by that is, if you have a goal in mind, then you need to map out exactly how you want to achieve that. Your life is not going to take you through that path, and that's okay. When there are changes and curves within that path, that's going to help you in the long term, as long as you stay focused on that goal. Because those changes in your pathway is going to help you to grow, not only as a CEO eventually, but also as a person. Because at the end of the day, it's about relationships. And it's about being able to get things done through and with people. And we do not work as a CEO in a silo. And that is one significant opportunity or learning experience that I was able to gain over my years. So my advice would be to be flexible, take on challenges, don't be afraid of challenges. Know your abilities so you know how much to take on, because you don't want to put yourself in a position of failure. And you will achieve success eventually.
So-
The hard skills, your degree, your experience will get you in the door. You need to have that,
Yes.
because you need to be at the table in order to get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Once you're there, the soft skills are critically important. Many of the problems or issues that CEOs are confronted with from a day-to-day operational issue are dealing with behavior of staff, interactions with your customer, or in my case, patients. Patients may be angry, not be able to see their doctor. And so it's very important to be able to get along with individuals, but also to be able to demonstrate the leadership skills. So I see both as being important, but at different times.